Finally. A little bit of space to move. Just did a video. This one's probably going to be coming out before the one that I just did, because the one that I did was longer. You know how this stuff goes. I'm only beginning to figure it out. But here, from that, I talked about sleeping in a ditch by the cemetery and then sleeping in the cemetery. And what I have to say is I should have started it out this way. It made it sound like I slept in a ditch in the cemetery all the way across the cemetery. What I'm saying is, I should have said to start, what's a ditch in the cemetery? I think it's a grave. Heather just texted me a message. I didn't see what it was. I don't pay attention to anything when it's going on. But look at this. Cemetery. I think it's the grave. That's a ditch in the cemetery. And I told you before, I was roommates with Taco Masacando in college. Damien. Taco Masacando. Judas and Damien were roommates. But he was named after Herman Hesse's Damien. Yeah, that sparrowhawk right there between your eyes, you've got the look, you know. You should read it, it's good. But I got the photo albums out again. I'm talking about Damien. But Damien and I said, we're going north. And this is a wonderful thing, because he's an entomologist from Japan, trained in Japan as an entomologist, and he's in Colombia. He's all over the place. He sees all kinds of different insects. But when I took him to Gaylord, I said, we're going to Gaylord. We walked around in my old homeland, you know, on Polecat Road. And just as you do, found a deer carcass, and he took out his little pickaxe entomology tool and dug away at it. And he looked, and there were carrion beetles. These big black beetles were around. And he's like, carrion beetles! And I said, I'm so used to seeing them, it made no difference to me. But he was very excited as an entomologist to see carrion beetles. And on the way up, we stopped in Houghton Lake, and we had a beer or two, and in there they sold these glasses, and we put them on my Uncle Eddie. Where is it? Oh, there's Uncle Eddie. And we put him on my grandpa, my dad's dad. Uncle Eddie is the one that, he's dead, so we can talk about him. I'm sure he died a virgin. You know what? Even if you get syphilis from the first whore you screw, ask Nietzsche. At least you got laid. And he was he was old when he died of syphilis. And they've got cures for that now, I guess. Penicillin, you know, they didn't have... Johann Salk, whatever the hell his name, wasn't around at the turn of the century in the 1900s, 18 to 19s. But, at least he didn't die a virgin. You gotta know what it's about. You gotta know how it is they're trying to make it all sound so great and make us breed. So Damien and I think we bought him in the bar we were in. We bought these goggles, and it was a pair of goggles that the cook at the 307th Engineer Battalion had. He did. We bought them. We drove down the road. We looked at people, and they freaked out. We almost caused accidents because it's a weird thing. And there I was on... It was the first time he ever drove a car. And so we were driving down Morgan Road where I do 100 on my first ride down that road. When I get home, doesn't matter what time of day it is, I do 100 miles an hour. And I put him behind the wheel. And I rode it. And there... I say, what's a ditch in the cemetery? I think it's a grave. And there I acted like I died fighting for my country, just in case I had, you know, people want to see that. I had a chance, didn't have to. They're bad shots. And then there I am. We're sitting on a grave. And then there's... I don't know what's going on here. But the point is... that day we had also climbed down in graves and acted like we were dead. Graves that were dug. I grew up next to the cemetery. This is what you do for fun. It's not like I'm digging people up. I'm just getting in their grave before they ever got a chance to, you know? We climbed down in people's graves and took pictures. Just a matter of fact. If there's a ditch in the cemetery, I think it's a grave.